one of the most educational, beautiful pieces of video you can find on YouTube about your civil rights is simply never talk to the police or never talk to the cops. It's a video, I think it's like 40 minutes long, and the two people that are making a presentation is the first person is a former police detective, and the second person is a trial lawyer for criminal defense. So there's a criminal defense attorney and a former police detective doing a lecture on why you shouldn't talk to the police. It's beautiful. I'll shoot you a link so you can share this with your listeners underneath the video, and it's great. But yeah, so anything you say can and will be used against you. And one of the things I learned years ago when I watched this video is the trial defense attorney explains that here's the way it works. If you get arrested and you go to jail and you get out and you have a court date and you're in trial for an alleged crime that you committed, so the state's accusing you that you committed a crime, you can't, according to this lawyer, and it's my understanding to be the truth, you can't call the cop onto the witness stand and say, hey, but remember when I told you such and such and you said such and such? The prosecutor, whose job it is to make sure that you go to jail, will say, objection, Your Honor, that's hearsay. So literally every statement you make to a cop can't be used in your defense in court. So there's nothing. There is literally nothing. I'm sorry for yelling, but I get really passionate about this. There's nothing you can say to a cop that's going to help you.
Wow.
Like, silence is the best thing. You know what? If I'm pulled over, what I'm going to say when a cop tries to question me is, first and foremost, am I being detained or I'm free to go? If the cop says I'm being detained, at that point, I'm going to say, I invoke my right to remain silent. I would like to speak to a lawyer before I'm questioned anymore. I don't consent to a search. Reason why you say I would like to speak to a lawyer is there's it basically means it's all stop. That's a period in legalese. What I do, I can't tell people what to do, but I can tell you what I do. I will say, I invoke my right to remain silent. I'd like to speak with a lawyer. Because, according to myriad scholarly works on law, myriad lectures you can find on the internet with a multitude of lawyers, they'll all tell you the same thing. It's just best to stay silent.
Well, that's really good information. I mean, how many people have heard that before? Interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, cops are also legally allowed to lie to you.
Really? I haven't heard that. What?
Yes.
How does that work? I haven't heard that one before.
You could literally be sitting in front of a cop, and a cop could say, you could literally be sitting in front of a cop, and you're there on the street, and there's a crosswalk at the other end of the street, and you just don't feel like crossing. And you could say, hey, officer, is it okay for me to cross? Is it safe for me to cross here? The cop could hypothetically say, sure. And then as soon as you step off the curb, they could write you a jaywalking ticket, and it'd be perfectly legal.
Fascinating.
They're allowed to offer you incentives during questioning. Police can tell you, hey, if you help me out, we can get this over with. I can get the information I can get, and you can go. And tell me about such and such. And if you're naive enough to tell them about such and such, the cop can hypothetically put some shiny new silver bracelets around your wrist and deny you of your freedom.
How about that?
It's literally legally. Yeah, they can coerce you legally. They can offer you an incentive to talk, and then as soon as you tell them what they want, they can put you in handcuffs. It's perfectly legal.
That's interesting. Somehow when I was growing up watching the movies and the police shows and all that, somehow those scenarios never actually came up. Gee, they mustn't have known about that. I mean, I'm just making a joke, but yeah, interestingly enough, I don't think the general public is aware of what you just said.